just went to the shooting range yesterday and finally got time to make a video about it. I'm trying out some hand loads, 243, shooting them out of my Tikka T3. Quick overview of the gun: a Wit machine muzzle brake. It is clamp-on style. No threading required, which I really like. Vortex Viper 6-20 scope, 30mm tube, 50mm lens. I have lightened up the trigger, but it is the factory Tikka trigger. It's right around 2.5–3 pounds maybe. And just recently I put a Kydex cheek rest on here. So I was shooting indoors at a 100-yard range here in Salt Lake. Went to a place called TNT Guns. Pretty unique. You can actually shoot indoors 100 yards. It's down like a 5-foot cement tunnel. Pretty cool place because it is freezing cold outside at the moment. Let's take a look at this other target first. The IMR 7828 Super Shortcut. I start off, I'm just doing 3-shot groups, trying to see if I could get done to group at all. I hadn't tried this powder yet. Starting charge of 42 grains. Not real bad, just outside of an inch. I did have to rush through these just a little bit. I only had a certain amount of time on the range. 43 grains. We're looking just outside of an inch again there. And again, these were all shot at 100 yards. Get out the calipers and take a look here. Yeah, center to center, 1.1. That's 43 grains. Then we move to 44 grains. I think this was the best shot group I got of the night. 1.01, right at 1 inch. And last one, 45 grains. This one opened up. It's possible I threw a shot. It's also very possible the gun got hot. The lightweight sporter barrel on there, it was getting quite warm, shooting rapidly. I wasn't just throwing the bolt back and forth, but I shot all of those rounds within 5 minutes, so a little warmer than I would like to keep it. Now moving on to a powder I was really excited to try, Hodgdon H40. It's been extremely difficult for me to locate some locally. It seems to be the powder that's just everybody's trying to get right now. So I did get a little bit, but I don't have a bottle of it to show you guys. So I tried out 39 grains as my starting charge, and that's shooting pretty good. I think that's like 1.2 inch. Not bad at all for a starting charge. Then I bump up. These are all just 1 grain jumps. I don't have a whole lot of it, so I wanted to try from the bottom to the top of the powder charge range kind of quickly and get through it as fast as I could. Right there, another 1.2, 1.3 inch grape group. These are all shot at 100 yards. 41 grains. It's just below this line, and it's just below this line, so that's right at 1 inch. These are 1 inch squares. This one, I have just a little bit left of this powder. I'm going to reload all the powder I have left into 42 grain bullets because I'm convinced I pulled that shot. Right at the last second, just got a little bit excited and pulled my sights just a little bit. These were the first 2, and this was my last shot. I could tell that these grouped together and naturally got a little excited and ruined the group. So I'll see what I can do with those, and those should be pushing the fastest velocities. Unfortunately, with the indoor range, the lighting, my chronograph was freaking out, and I wasn't able to get any data off of it. So I'm going to go out to the desert after I load up these 42 grains and see what I can do there. I want to show you some group comparisons of what I've reloaded here. This is IMR 7828, Hodgdon H40. And then I want to show you some factory rounds that I've shot out of the gun. These are Remington 100 grains, soft points. This was at 120 yards. and they came in at 1.5 inch. Not too bad, but that's a pretty heavy bullet for my 1 to 10 twist barrel. I know that the Sierra tipped Match Kings, on the box it says 1 in 9 twist or faster, but apparently I'm able to push them fast enough through the gun that the barrel is able to stabilize them despite it's a 1 to 10 twist. Now, the first time I went and did accuracy testing with my Tikka T3 chambered in 243, I brought out some Federal Fusion rounds. These are 95 grain coated bullets. These are a hunting bullet, and they shoot great out of my gun. They're very consistent. So the first time they shot awesome, I knew I had to take them out again, and ever since then they've been shooting great. So that's kind of what I want my hand loads to be the same as, or at least beat them. The reloads, the bullets have a higher ballistic coefficient. You can find on Federal's website what their ballistic coefficient is for these bullets. So here, I believe this was 120 yards, just over 1 MOA there, 1.3 inch. 1 MOA to 120 yards would be 1.2 inches. So right on where I wanted it to be. Right here, 5 shots, 4 of them grouped awesome, 1 of them flew a little bit high. That definitely could have been me. Maybe it was ammunition's fault as well. This is just, it's not expensive either. That's what I really like about this ammo. You can go to any sports store. It's usually about $21 everywhere I've found it. This is the first time I took it out, and these are what really impressed me about this Federal Fusion. 2 groups right here, shooting into 1/2 inch. I blew that group, that was on me. But the ammo shoots great, and I want my reloads to be as good as them. Here's one I have loaded. These are the Sierra 95 grain tipped Match King. Sorry, the lighting kind of sucks down here. But I load them to magazine length. The Tikka has a boxed mag. And I'll try and do this one-handed. We'll see how it goes. Give you an idea of how much room I have in this magazine. I mean, I'm loading them to max mag length right there. 2.8, as long as I can go there to try and minimize the jump to the lands. Let's take a look at actually what I'm reloading and the components I'm using. That Federal Fusion ammo shoots great out of the gun, so I've decided to only buy that for my brass. So now I have a bunch of Federal 243 brass. I haven't found any issues with it yet. This one is the IMR highest charge that I shot, and the primer is still looking pretty round there. Not bad at all. On the Hodgdon 4350, still has round corners. I don't see any bulges in the case. They're a little dirty, but not too bad. I am shooting a CCI BR2 bench rest match primer. The Sierra 95 grain tipped Match King. They have an advertised BC of like 490 to 0.5, which is pretty good for the 243. It's a 6 mil, which is why I'm trying to get those to shoot as well as the Federal ammo here, because it should fly farther and cut through the wind better than those factory hunting rounds. Nothing crazy going on with my reloading bench. Just this Lee O-frame aluminum press. I got the whole kit that came with the little beam scale here, and then I got a Hornady trickler. I got a little Frankfurt Arsenal digital scale. I did all of these charges off this scale. Throwing different weights takes too long to adjust that thing and wait for it to settle down. I do full length resizing. I clean out the primer pockets. What else? I just prime them from the press. that's about all I have. I got into reloading as cheap as I could. There's a channel on YouTube I really enjoy. It's Johnny's Reloading Bench. Talking to a bunch of people on there, including him. Everybody over there, super good feedback. A lot of good dudes, a lot of information over there. Wealth of information on that channel. I encourage you to check that out. I did have a local company who makes holsters help me with a Kydex cheek rest. He was able to just heat up the Kydex, drop it right over the stock of the gun. We threw a piece of PVC pipe underneath it to rise it up an inch, and then drilled it and the stock of the gun. Just threw some wing nuts on the backside. This is like the cheapest and easiest way I found to get the job done, and I think it should be just fine. Recently I did add a 20 MOA base to the Tikka, and it's a full Picatinny rail now. So the rings drop directly from this rail onto my AR, and I can also get the farther ring spacing, which is what I wanted to do. Some of my older videos, they're real close to the center of the tube. I prefer to have them spaced out like this. As far as my shooting setup goes, typically when I'm out in the desert, I'm just laying prone in my truck bed. The bipod, there's little grooves in the tailgate, and then there's a lip at the end of the tailgate, and I'll load the bipod into those. And then, as funny as it is, these little portable hammocks. I went out there and I didn't have a rear rest for my rifle. Started rummaging through my truck. I had one in there, and I decided to try it out, and it works pretty well. Considering I already had it, it was with me. Tried it out, and I've been using it ever since. Whatever works, you know. But I try and remain as consistent as I can. I'm not a marksman. Still trying to learn. I did get some video of me shooting some factory loaded stuff that I know doesn't shoot well. So I just decided to run the bolt quick and see how the gun performed, just kind of shooting fast. So I'll roll that in here. You'll get an idea of where I was shooting indoors. I've had no problems with this Tikka, the action, with the extraction, or loading from the magazine. This thing runs awesome. I like the trigger for factory. It's not the greatest. It's pretty good though. I'm not going to complain. Not bad at all. You have your cocked indicated here. Safety, if you engage that, you can't lift your bolt. Doesn't bother me. I usually don't carry it loaded. I load it up in the bed of my truck and shoot at my targets.